we all might be efficient in some work or the other. Some of you might be very efficient in dancing. Some of you might be very efficient in playing football, while some others might be very efficient in learning or studying new things. Let's consider this last example. Well, when can a person be said to be efficient in learning? When he is applying smaller effort in learning in smaller time, but learning a whole lot of things. So, a person is efficient in learning when he is doing lesser work to obtain a much wider knowledge. So, can this be applied to machines as well? Let's see. So, you know that machines can be anything which makes our work easier to do. So, can a machine be efficient? Can we apply a smaller effort to the machine to obtain a larger work or to overcome a larger load? Well, in terms of physics, the work done by a machine can be defined by a special term. This is the efficiency for the machine. Now, along with efficiency, we'll learn about two new terms. The work input, that is W subscript input, and work output, which is written as W subscript output. Well, consider this simple machine. Here, a straight bar is balanced on a triangle like this, and it has effort on one side, that is, we are applying effort on one side to overcome a load kept on other side. So, in this case, the effort that we are applying is input, that is, we are giving in effort, and the load which is being moved is the output. That is, we are obtaining this work by giving an effort. So, from here we can define work input as the work which is done by the effort, that is by us. And the work output can be defined as the work done on the load by the machine. So, the efficiency of a machine can be defined as the ratio of the work output, that is the work done by the machine on the load, divided by work input, that is the work we are doing on the machine to move the load. Now, this efficiency is denoted by a symbol called eta. This can be written like this. Now, generally efficiency is expressed in the term of percentage. So, to convert this expression as a percentage, work output divided by work input has to be multiplied by 100. So, the answer you will get will be in terms of a percentage. Now, as you can see, the numerator and the denominator both have work as a factor. So, efficiency does not have any unit. Now, for any machine, for example, you buy a machine, you will expect its efficiency to be greater. That is, you will expect it to have a higher percentage of efficiency. Therefore, higher the percentage of this value, more will be the efficiency of the machine. So, generally, you would want your machine to have a very high efficiency, but can the efficiency be greater than 100%? Let's see. From this expression, you can understand for the efficiency of a machine to be greater than 100%, the work output needs to be greater than work input. This term needs to be greater than this. Then only the efficiency will be greater than 100%. But can this work output be greater than work input? Well, it is not possible for the work output to be greater than work input. This is not possible because we know from the principle of law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So, it cannot be so that you apply a smaller effort or you do a smaller work, but you obtain a greater work. That is, energy cannot be created like this or cannot be magnified like this. Therefore, for a machine, efficiency can never be greater than 100%. So let's recapitulate the law of conservation of energy. By this law, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So a machine cannot create energy. Secondly, when we use energy, it does not disappear. It does not dissipate. Rather, it changes from one form into another form. So if not greater than 100%, can a machine have efficiency equal to 100%? Well, for a machine to have efficiency equal to 100%, from this expression you can understand the work output needs to be equal to the work input. Then only efficiency will be equal to 100%. So for an ideal machine, the efficiency can actually be equal to 100%. But normally, machines are not always ideal. The reason is, when you use a machine, some energy is changed into the form of friction. That is, some energy is lost into overcoming the friction. Like when a wheel of a car moves like this in forward direction, friction is acting in the opposite direction. So, some form of energy is always lost to overcome this friction. Therefore, we do not get ideal machines in which efficiency is equal to 100%. So, always the work output is lesser than the work input. So, if we put this in this expression, work output is lesser than work input. Therefore, the efficiency will be less than 100%. This is the case for any practical machine which you and me use in our daily lives. So, no practical machine can have efficiency greater than 100% nor equal to 100%, but it is always lesser than 100% efficiency.